once again. We are ready for our first official video.
Yes.
With real content, because y'all met us last time, but now it's time to get into it.
Yes, and we didn't do the poll because most of the responses that we got were like along the same lines.
Yes,
so yeah, let's get started, guys.
So bottom line, y'all want to get to know us a little bit better, so that's what we're going to do. We pretty much got 4 questions we're going to talk about, and here we go. Question number 1 was how or why we chose nursing. I'll go first.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I feel like when asking someone, how did you choose nursing? I feel like it's the same. Oh, I want to help people. And I feel like in the beginning, yes, that's how I chose nursing because I knew I loved helping people. With my grandma, she was a caretaker for people. So I used to be with her going to different clients' houses. So that's kind of where I got my passion from nursing from.
Kind of similar. My mom was a nurse. I actually didn't intend on going to nursing school. I was going to school, I thought, for psychology. And
I didn't know that.
Yes, girl.
Oh.
Because it was real short-lived. I was wanting to go to school for psychology. I was going to HBCU. That was my plan. But it was so expensive. I ended up getting a scholarship to the school that we went to. It was a private school, and I got a scholarship. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, honey, I need some money.
Say our school, Alverno grads.
Yeah, we went to Alverno College. Alverno gave me a scholarship. I was looking through their majors, and psychology was not a major. So I'm like, dang, I done picked this school now. What I'm going to go for?
Right.
And then I saw nursing, and instantly I just pictured like all the babies and stuff, and I was like, period, that's what I'm going for.
So you knew from the beginning what to do labor and delivery.
Yes, and that's why everybody, when I was in school and stuff, like counselors or guidance people, they used to be like, you don't know that you're going to easily get thrown off of your track from nursing because you're so one-track minded. Look. I know myself. Yeah, I know myself, and I know what I'm passionate about, what I'm interested in. So,
period.
And here we are, me being a labor and delivery nurse. So,
and that's period.
So all of y'all,
if you got your mindset, don't let nobody change that.
Yeah, you more positive. I'm like, so all of y'all can save it. Next question was like pretty much our journey through school. So I kind of just told y'all the beginning of mine. So I'll just go first. Okay. So that's how I ended up at Alverno. We both went to school straight out of high school, so we was both 18 years old, starting on college.
Yeah.
I didn't know nobody I knew one girl, but she wasn't in nursing, so I kind of like never really saw her. Started school, I was always by myself, walking around with my headphones in because I didn't know nobody. I met one of our mutual friends freshman year. Then it was me and her getting through it together. Kay and I met sophomore year.
Yeah. In our anatomy class, I think it was anatomy at least. Oh no, nutrition. We said nutrition.
Yeah, it was nutrition. We met in nutrition, and we ended up, us two and like 4 or 5 other girls, we ended up making like a study group. Our school was, let's say it was the only black girls, and all of us, we just linked up. It wasn't because we was black, but look, we trying to get through it together. We was willing to help each other out.
Yeah. So
that's how me and Kay linked up. That was really helpful for me in school. I really needed that. And then sophomore year, that was when I learned like, go to the study groups, go to tutoring, all that kind of stuff. Go to your professors and try to get the help that you need. And so I started doing that every semester. Any class that was a little more difficult or more time consuming, I went to all my study groups in my classes. I ended up then tutoring for those classes or like leading the study groups. So then that also helped me to retain information. Throughout school, I took all the courses like as they were planned. So at Alverno, I don't know how it is at other nursing schools. At Alverno, each semester they have like set up already what classes you need to take because you can't take certain ones if you don't have the prereqs in terms of nursing. Mm-hmm. And I took them all just like that.
And if your school is like that, I saved that. We have like a I saved my graduation plan, so like we can remake it and like send it to you guys. So
yeah, I think I still got mine too.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I took them all like that. I would say if you gonna do that, baby, you gonna need some heart. I'm gonna just tell you that because it was not easy. I was stressing, I was crying, I was going to my instructors like every week because I was trying to figure out how to get through that successfully. But thank God I did.
Yeah.
Like I said, tutoring, for me getting tutoring and then me also being a tutor, that really helped me personally to retain more things and also be able to connect more dots. Graduating May of 2019 for me. Took my NCLEX like 3 weeks later, and then I became a nurse like another 3 weeks later. So that was my story.
Ooh, so okay, so I started nursing school, the entrance exam. I didn't pass the first time, y'all. I didn't. I failed by 1 point. And I didn't really know how to study for it. Like, I'm like, so how do I study? How do I know what I did wrong? Because they were just giving you, like, percentages for, like, like spots you were low in. So I'm like, okay, I don't know. So then I talked to my counselor, and then she got me this book, and I studied the book. And then I passed the second time, thank God, because after the second time, you can't get into nursing school. So that's the beginning of the journey. I finally got to nursing school. I didn't know anyone, and I'm a very stubborn person. Like, I'm not gonna say I don't like new friends, but like, I don't know, like, especially when I was younger, I was just a very closed person. I'm shy, and stubborn, used to be. So I didn't really have friends. So we met don't mind her. So we met that mutual friend, and she helped me a lot in the beginning because we would study and we knew how each other learned the best, and we would literally like teach each other. I feel like that's a big thing, teaching your study partner like what we're learning, if that makes sense, and having that study partner is really, really, really a big thing, because I noticed that like once I got a study partner, my scores went up dramatically. When I was by myself, like my scores were pretty much, they were down there, and I was like kind of depressed about that, because overall nursing school breaks you down. I feel like I'm just now getting back to myself, honestly, because you know, you're in nursing school, you don't got money, you always studying, you don't really got time for a social life. So yeah, that's kind of off track, but back on track.
They tell you though, like the first day of class, like if you're in a relationship, if you got another job, if you got this and that going on, like a lot of that ain't gonna make it through school. And they was not lying. It takes everything from you, like she was saying. Everything.
Literally everything. And they also told us in the beginning, they had us all in like a class, and they said only, I forgot the percentage, but it was
gonna
true.
make it through.
Yeah, it was only like 20%, I think, and literally, I promise y'all, it was only like 20% of
people
us that
drop
made it.
like flies.
Yes, it was scary, intimidating, like, but I promise, it's so weird, y'all. Every time I needed something on a test,
she got the exact score that she needed
every time. Like, I don't know. I mean, that's just God. Like, that's my nurse.
That's what it is.
We both are his nurses.
Okay.
Amen to that.
Amen, honey.
But yeah, that's kind of the journey. The biggest thing I took from it is studying with other people, and I feel like in the beginning, the quicker you find someone to study with, and you guys know each other, like, what is the word? Know how each other learn best. Like by the end, y'all gonna be like rocking through it. Like it's nothing like having that person.
Girl.
Really, a group is better because you're getting like many different perspectives. But it's nothing like having that person that you study with and y'all get through it. And yeah,
not for real, because so we all started off the same semester, so we had all of our classes at the same time. And it was like a group of us. In the end, I ended up
like six of us.
6, 7 of
big
us.
Group.
In the end, though, I ended up being by myself for different reasons, depending on the person. And it was that much more challenging for me because, like I said in the beginning, I started off by myself, but we didn't really have nursing class. It was more like prereqs. So okay, but once we was in like full blown nursing classes and I was by myself after being accustomed to having y'all, I had to like relearn how to
study by yourself.
Yes, because it's one thing like being in a class, you know, they talking to you, teaching you. But if they say it one way and you don't understand it, then you gotta go try to figure it out on your own. Versus when I was with y'all, it was like you might say it one way, that might help me. She might say it another way, that might, you know, it helped me understand it better. So for me having both ways, honey, if you can find, like you said, at least one other person, but if you can really find a group, you know, y'all play on each other's strengths. And then, like, we got to learn each other. You know what works, how Kay kind of work better in certain situations. So if she have an off day or something, your people help you get back on track and, you know, keep your focus there because you got a support system.
For sure. We both, I'll brag about it, we both never failed a class.
That is a blessing.
Which it really is a blessing in nursing school. And in the end, we could choose a individual internship, which was so much fun. Another thing that helped me is color coordination. Like, It's kind of hard in the beginning, but once we got to learn like the different body systems, I would have them like color coordinated. And when I would be on the test and I would like be reflecting on my notes when I see a question, that color would pop in my head, and for some reason it would just click. So for me personally, color coordination helped a lot too.
See, I don't know if that one thing, and everybody say I'm weird for this. When I study, I need music.
Yeah.
Like, and people are like, how do you focus? Yes, I used to have my headphones in because we was also be in a study group together, and we have times when we all like talking it out with each other, but also we have times where everybody individual, like we all together, but you working on it, working through it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
I need music. If I'm not talking to people and speaking it out loud, the music for whatever reason, I'm like that in general.
She literally be reading the stuff with music in her ears. I'll be singing the song or something. I wouldn't be focusing.
But then it's crazy because sometimes on a test or something, I'll be looking at something on the test and I will hear the song that was playing. It's so weird, but sounds
everybody got their different.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And another thing, she liked to study at nighttime because. Well, I can't speak for you, but why did you like study at nighttime? You just like more of a nighttime person.
I've been like that since like elementary school. That's I work night shift. I love it. It's not because I'm a new nurse. Like that's really what I need. During like when we get out of class, you know, we be in class 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 or 5 at night straight. Ain't no breaks. Ain't no hour. Nothing. 8 to 5 straight.
And then we'll have to study after, right after.
And then you got study groups afterwards. Then we have our own study group. So like after class is over, I will have to take a nap. She would too, but she would go in her dorm. I'll be sleeping in the study room. Take my nap to, you know, a little refresher. Then by 8, 9 o'clock, bro, like I'm up, and I'll be up for hours. Mm-hmm. Like even us, like we might have a test or something. We might be up to 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Sometimes like all night.
You have anxiety because I swear, no matter how much you study, the day before that test, you're gonna feel like you don't know nothing.
Okay,
like,
we just got cut off, but we was talking about like the night before a test or whatever. So we wouldn't feel like we would even know or be prepared for the test until like hours before, maybe the night before on a good day.
Yeah.
But one thing we did, right, maybe one thing we did not play about. If we don't do nothing else, we gonna pray, like no matter what. And that was for our entire group. We gonna study all night. When we done studying, we gonna pray. And then guess what? Before we walk in that test the next morning, we all stop in the hallway. We won't even go in a room. We stop in the hallway and we pray. Mm-hmm. We pray for, you know, calm spirit, calm mind, anxiety, all of that to go away. We pray that we retain information because we knew that we knew it. But you got to be confident, you know, and have faith that you're going to get through it. So we pray for the faith to get through it, the ability to perform well. And, you know, we just, you know, pray overall that we was going to make it. And thank God, like me and Kay never failed a class. And that's very unusual in nursing. Like we're not seeing that any kind of way other than the fact that we had faith that we was gonna make it through, and we did what we needed to do do that. Not to say if you end up failing the class, like that happens, whatever.
That's really normal.
It's really not. Mm-hmm. We just telling y'all our experience. Neither one of us ever failed a class, and I really attribute like a lot of that I attribute to being in my group. Because if I was by myself, bro, I wouldn't have been able to, you know, perform as well as I did because I needed y'all and y'all's strengths. Mm-hmm. So thank y'all to Kay and our other nursing sisters out there. And
I feel like nursing tests are so hard because it's application. So like in high school, or really, I feel like kind of any other like not healthcare major, it's more of like memorizing stuff and like definitions. But for nursing, you gotta apply it. It ain't no just memorizing. You gotta know how to apply it to what they're asking. So I feel like that's a very challenging thing in nursing.
And then like another thing with our tests in nursing, you have to pick the most appropriate at that time. So all 4 answers that, if it's multiple choice, all 4 answers that they give you can be a correct response to it. But given this situation, what should you be doing first? What is the most appropriate at this time? And that's one of the main things you gotta get your mind used to when you're in nursing school, because it's like she said, it's not about a right and wrong or this versus that. Like they all right. And these are all things that a nurse has to consider when she's looking at her patient. But first and foremost, what do I need to address?
Prioritize.
Yes.
In which you're not gonna learn until like
practice. You gotta just do it
until you're actually in the field.
Yeah.
Really.
And a lot of times the other thing about it is they can give you 4 options, and in real life you're gonna be doing them simultaneously. It's not like, oh, step 1, let me do this on its own, and then let me do this. Like most things aren't like that. Most things you're gonna be addressing at the same time or close to it, but not on no test. You have one thing that you can do right now. What you gonna do? So really learning and practicing that. You're gonna do questions after questions after questions, just trying to get your brain in that mode.
But I feel like doing questions is hard in the beginning. Doing questions like junior year, I feel like it helped a lot. But in the beginning, you can't really do questions. I just feel like nursing school in the beginning is really hard. And not saying it gets easier, but like you kind of know how you learn best as you get further and further through it. But definitely junior, senior year, do those questions. I did so many questions.
Hundreds, like not even exaggerating.
Not exaggerating.
Probably close to 1,000. Like I'm not gonna lie.
Seriously,
I could have
more than that.
I could have easily done 1,000. Now that I think about it.
Seriously, yeah.
Because it's just
it trains your mind.
Yes, because that's the only way that you can even say it. It's just a whole different way of thinking. You have to get yourself in that.
I wish I knew how to explain it though, honestly. But I really don't know how to explain it.
If y'all got more questions on just like the nursing thinking, we can make a whole video about that. Because that's going to be like a whole...
That's a whole video.
Kind of thing. If y'all want that, let us know.
Or like if you're in a certain class or some like tips or like, what did you do when you were in med-surg or you were in that to help too? I know.
Y'all, med-surg, I cried. When I passed, I'm not going to lie. I straight up cried when I passed that class.
What was your hardest class? Nutrition for me.
Okay. I can get two different
did not
answers.
make sense. I can get two too. So nutrition, that did not make sense to me. That was just a bunch of blah blah blah. My second one was med-surg because that was like my first like really application nursing class. So what about for you?
My two will be med-surg and then my chemistry class. I'll say med-surg because again, I struggle with, okay, I know all this information. If you ask me something about it, I'll get it right. But in terms of applying that way of thinking, I couldn't do it yet, so I had to really like work hard, like on a daily, to get myself in that to that way of thinking. Now, my chemistry class, this before we even met. So, like I said, I went to college right after high school, but I tested out of a lot of courses because them was just extra. I'm like, look, I don't have time for all of this. I need to focus on my nursing. Yes, I need to focus on nursing. So I tested out of like two different math courses, like a biology course, and I tested out of a chemistry, right? Mind you, chemistry I had taken like sophomore year of high school, so this long years back. I ended up studying for it over like 3 weeks. Tested out of like the first 2 chemistry classes, right? I get into my chemistry class. This is freshman year, my first college course I ever took. Y'all, I had the hardest professor. I didn't know this coming into school.
Who was the teacher?
Judy. Judy Calhoun.
Oh, I didn't have her.
Girl, that was a blessing. Because once I got to school, everybody was like, why would you take her? You already tested into a course, so it's going to be, you got to work harder to stay afloat. But then also, Judy was one of the most nitpickiest people in terms of your test.
I hate teaching like that.
Which, I ain't going to lie, though, it pushed me. Yes, it pushed me, but like, y'all, I was questioning myself. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should have.
Like, if I can get through chemistry,
I'm like, I don't know if I should have tested into this course. I might have needed that first course to get ready for this one. Literally, bro, I went to that class every day. Somebody left out crying because they was failing. Every single week, more people were dropping out because they was failing, and I'm just like, dude, what happened? Like,
that's so intimidating.
What is happening right now? And then it wasn't easy. And like sometimes I was struggling a little bit too, and I just had to go to her like, Judy, what's up? Because I'm not getting it.
Go to your teacher. Nobody can help you more than your teacher. They know what they want when they test.
And for y'all that go to bigger universities or things like that, if it's more people and y'all professors aren't as accessible as ours, please try to find some kind of way around it. If you can talk to a TA, if you can talk to somebody a semester or a year ahead, something like. You need that.
Yeah.
You need
it. I feel like even still at the bigger schools, keep in communication with your teacher because at least they know you're trying and they see your effort too. So I feel like that's a big thing too. But I agree. Find somebody.
Girl, I had to. And then med-surg, y'all, I was in my teacher office every other day. I swear I was.
I think our med-surg was hard too because it was 1 and 2 in one class.
No, remember mine was 1 and then 2.
Oh. Well, mine was 1 and 2 in one class. Why? I don't know. No, mind.
But y'all, I went to that lady almost after every single class. And I remember mid-semester, I was failing my class. And that has never been like me to be failing a class. Like, and it happened. I didn't think I was no better than that. But it was like, I can perform better than this. And I'm like, what do I gotta do? Like, what resources I need? Give me all the extra books, study groups, anything, because I'm literally failing this class right now.
Who's your med-surg teacher?
Leanne, the little country one.
Aw, I love her. That
one.
was actually mine too.
Yeah, she was a real sweet little country. She was, or she's from Tennessee.
Yep.
And y'all, I was stressing over that class, and I kept going to my mama. I was going to everybody like, y'all, I don't know how to get through it. So when I passed that class, y'all, I cried my eyes.
Celebration.
Yes, I cried my eyes out when I passed that class. Y'all gotta wait. You want to go just silence it?
Yeah.
And we can just pause it. Okay. Oh, last but not least, we kind of talked about that. They said like the one thing you wish you knew going into nursing. Like,
oh yeah, I feel like we said a million things we wish we knew.
But I really would say for me, getting that group you need in
That's
school.
What I was gonna say too.
Yeah, in terms of just utilizing your resources in total. So whether it be your professors, going to your library, I never went to no library before, but in college, baby, I was in that library, okay? Because I need an environment where I could really be focused. You know, when you at home, or you know, sometimes like you too easily distracted and your mind all over the place, and there's other things that you could be focused on. Versus in a library, people come in there to get work done.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We all come in here to accomplish something. It's more quiet. You can just get in your zone and get to it. And then, like I said, your people, like when I was tripping, having my off days, having them days, so I'm like, y'all, I'm sick of this. I don't want to do this right now. Y'all like, let's go. You know, we got work to do.
Yeah, no time for that. Okay, get on the board.
Okay, you what? Since you want to be having an attitude, you go now. For real.
I agree with everything she said. Use all of your resources. And at our school, the tutors were free, even though we were paying for them in our tuition. But if you got free tutors, utilize that. Even if you feel you don't need it, like just I say in the beginning, if they're free, make sure you have them in the beginning and on, because you don't know what challenges you're gonna face during your class.
And even if you're not, like, you don't gotta be struggling or failing to go to a tutor or study group. Like, even if, like she said, you just got in the beginning, you never know what's gonna come up when you might have your own like personal experiences that kind of get your head sidetracked, and you need that time to come back and regroup. Or sometimes it's just a matter of being able to speak it, you know, talk through it with somebody. And for some people that helps, like for us, it helps us retain it a little bit better. So even if I feel like I understand it, if I can straight up explain it to you, I know I got it.
Yep.
And also that helps you. So
yeah,
teamwork, baby.
Teamwork, baby.
And we still locked in, okay? This ain't good. Okay.
For life.
Okay, nursing sisters first, but baby, this for life, honey.
Period.
Let us know what y'all think of the video.
Yes.
We thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank you so much. We appreciate. We got so much feedback from the first video.
We did. We really appreciate all y'all tuning in.
Thank you so much. That meant so much to me.
Yes.
It made me feel like we're doing a good job and it's really worth it. So
we actually doing it for something, because so many, like hundreds of people right away.
Yeah.
Just tuned in. I did not expect.
I didn't expect that at all.
No.
I didn't expect that.
And then even after we stopped like promoting after a few days, like I would go back and then the views still going up, the subscribers still going up. I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah. Thank you.